I'm just waiting for the coach after a lovely cruise, so I thought, do you know, why not create a little video on how to use the Navigate.TUI app. So as soon as you get on board, you'll need to connect up to the Wi-Fi, so go onto your settings on your Wi-Fi. These should work for iPhone and Android. Connect up to the Wi-Fi, it's called Discovery. You may need to log in, but you should be able to get connected. Once you've got connected, go to open up the Internet Explorer or Chrome or any web browser and type Navigate.TUI at the top. So if you can see at the top here, Navigate.TUI, and it'll ask you to log in. So just put your surname and your cabin number, and you log in and you'll get here. So this is the main front screen that you'll see, and these may be in various orders depending on how things are looking, but I'll just quickly run through, and it's actually a really good app. So if I look at My Muster, this is a process you need to go through, which it shows a video of what to do in case of an emergency. But as soon as you get on, they'll tell you when your muster drill is. You'll go through and you go to the muster station, you scan your card, and then you're good to go. If I go to book here, this allows you to book photography sessions, you can get into the spa, you can book an excursion, and you can get to the escape rooms. So it's quite straightforward. If you went to excursions, it will then list out the different places. Usually shows where you are today, and you can have a look through. So you can look at your bookings that you have, and then you can go to the different locations depending on what day. So if you wanted to go on the 18th to Thera Santorini, you can click on that, and that will take you to the TUI operated tours. But again, in most of these cases, you can just go and book it yourself, or you can get off the ship, and there's usually a hop on hop off bus or water taxi or whatever that's usually a little bit cheaper. Now down the bottom of the screen you've got a back arrow and a home. I just tend to use the home to get back here. So there's your book here, Marella Cruises. The third option down, this is really good. This is what you have cruise news, so every day you get something slipped under your door, which is a piece of paper, but you don't want to carry that around all day. So I find it easier on here. You can click on Marella Cruises, third one down, or third box, cruise news, and this will tell you the timetable, it will tell you what's happening in port, and various notice boards, and even special messages. So if it's someone's birthday, let them know, let the reception know the day before, and you can get included on cruise news. It also shows the opening hours, and it also shows today's offers. So let's have a quick look at a sample timetable. This is our last day in Cyprus. So have a look at the timetable. It gives you the timetable for today and the timetable for tomorrow. So let's look at today, Limassol. And that's what it's showing. It shows what time, what's happening, what the location is, what deck it's on, and whereabouts. So if I want some quiet time on deck at 13:30, I can go to deck 9 and there'll be no blaring music. Again, we can either use back or the home button down. Take me back, it'll take me back to here, or if I go home, it'll take me back to the front screen. So, shore excursions, this is another way to get into this. So you can get in through book here or shore excursions. I just click on it, we'll let that load up, and it just brings you to the same screen we were at before. So again, you've got an idea of what's coming up this week. I'll just go back home. So from here we can also check out the bars and the restaurants by clicking on dining and bars. So I can have a look at every menu for today. I can have a look at all the restaurants for the opening times and the bars if I just check the menus. And I can go to the restaurant menus. And we can see split into two sections. One's the all-inclusive complimentary, and the other one's the speciality. We actually found enough to eat on the complimentary, so let's have a quick look. Shows you what's available where, and I have a look, let's just pick the snack shack. You might find things like the glass house listed 4 times. That'll be a snack menu, a lunchtime menu, an afternoon menu, and a dinner menu. So let's see what's on at the glass house, and it's usually in time order. Actually, let's check Piccadilly's. So if I go to Piccadilly's, it'll then load up the menu. I'll just show you some of the examples here. So we can have in the starters, we've got a Piccadilly sharing board. We've got some mains. What do I like the look of? Oh, Great British Burger. Oh, I'll have a bit of that. Signature beef and pork patty. And then if I look further down, a Queen of Puddings. No, I think I'd rather go for, let's have a look, a Baked Alaska. Right, let's zoom back out, and I'm just pinching to zoom with my fingers to get in and out like you would with your phone normally. So at this point I'm just going to press the back button on the bottom right. If you're on an iPhone, it opens another tab. So click on your tab number on the bottom right, close the tab, and it will take you then back to your front screen. So you can check all the different menus, and these do change. So have a look at Ireland's dinner. So each day there'll be a speciality. So it could be a Tex-Mex, Indian, American, UK, various themes. Again, let's go back, and I can check out, go back again, and I can check out the bar menu. So what's on the bar? So we could even get room service. If I just check the squid and anchor, let's say for example, showing all the individual bits, and this will show you the kind of the menu for each beer. And what you'll see if I look at the menu here, all inclusive is Heineken, Strongbow, John Smith's. If I wanted to pay for a pint of Moretti, I'll pay €4, and again that'll get charged to your room. But look at this, there's loads of bottled beers, and they don't have a price at the right hand side, which means they're all inclusive. You'll pay for Asahi on premium beers, and again it's the same with everything else. So all of these cocktails, the electric lemonade and the Illusion, Raspberry Collins, all inclusive. Again, if you're on an iPhone, this would open it in a different tab. So you would click on the bottom right on the tab with numbers on it, close that tab, and it will take you back. On Android, you just go back from here. I'm just going to go back a couple, take me back, and again back to the front screen. If I want room service, I can book a breakfast in bed if I want to. This service is chargeable, but and we didn't use it, but there were plenty of people ordering room service. Again, you would go in and it tells you the details. You do see this on your TV, you do see it on one of the channels on the telly as well. So let's just come back out. If you go to My Account and Bookings, this will show what you've got booked, and it will show your balance. So you can look at this live. This usually takes a couple of minutes. Once you've paid for something that's chargeable, this will appear on your bill. So let's have a look. My Accounts and Bookings. I can look at My Account, or I can look at My Bookings first, second one down, and it'll just show where I've booked in. So I booked at 47's, Gallery 47. This is just where I went and queued up, got a table, and it just shows on here. Again, this wasn't chargeable. So if I went back, so let's go to My Account, and I've managed to get away with a charge of just 112 quid, which is some gifts. They automatically put a couple of charity options on per person. You can ask for these taken off, but it is what it is. And again, in here we've bought some bingo tickets. We didn't win, boo! But yeah, it's all your charges will show here, and they usually show straight away. You don't have to go to reception to pay this. It just gets taken off the credit card or debit card that you registered at the time when you first got on board. So let's go back to the home screen. My cabin. So from here you can go in and you can go and make a complaint, or if something needs changing, or room service. I didn't have a minibar in mind, but you can use this to report a problem. And from what I've heard, problems are resolved really quickly. So you could go report a problem. What cabin are you in? What was the problem? There's too much noise. And you can put your description in here and submit it. Once you've submitted it, when you then go back, you can then track your problem and find out what's happened. I didn't have any, so I was very fortunate. Okay, so from here you can add your feedback, and this can be feedback on any specific service, and it does allow you to choose the type of feedback. And Marella love this. If you go in and you choose, if you think someone was amazing, you could just go to give some other feedback, and this is where you can mention somebody. So if someone has been really special and really made a difference to your holiday, you can mention them in here, and the feedback does go back to Marella. So really positive, and something wasn't right, let people know. They can only improve by your feedback. Okay, almost done. So again, holiday store, you can book certain things. You can have a look, and this does allow you to download full PDFs of brochures. So if you thought your cruise was amazing, you can't wait to get on another one like us, you could go in and download different brochures for the different routes and so on. There was also cruise maps in here, but it didn't show it. It did say that you would be able to get into here and look and probably even buy your cruise map by scrolling down to get the cruise globe. Check out the cruise globe, but that didn't work. Oh, it seems to be working today. That's alright, I might download one of these later on. But let's get this video out of the way. So click the home button down at the bottom. Your photo gallery, that will then show any photographs where you've been taken. You've had a picture taken, and it does have facial recognition. So you'll find, I think the first thing you need to do here is approve data protection. Click on data protection and approve, and then what will happen is, if you've had a photo shoot or you've just been enjoying your holiday and you've been snapped by the cameraman, if you go into my photos and then my photos again, you can then see which pictures you've been snapped on. So there's us with the captain. Quickly click back that, and just don't want to show that too often, but and it then shows any orders and so on. And you can, depending on what option you choose, if you do purchase any, you can have it printed, or you can just download it, or both. So almost finishing up now. Down to the bottom, you can book the spa from here. So there are various treatments which you can have a look. For families, this allows you to book specific things that they do. So up on the deck, you can go into M Club, and this will show when they have per day there's an amount of time for toddlers. You do have to stay with them. For older kids, there's quite a lot in M Club. So once you go into here, you can have a look, and it will give you the program of what's on there. So if we have a quick look at the M Club program, what we'll see here are various things that will happen per day. So you can register in the M Club, and from what I've heard, kids love this. Let's just pick a typical day. So 9 till 11 is Captain Mac's Art Attack, 3 till 5 the Icebreaker Games, and 7 till 9. So again, you, depending on the age of your kids, you can leave them here and let them make friends and enjoy themselves while you sample the cocktails. I'll just zoom back out, go back a little bit. Again, on an iPhone, you'd have to click on the tab numbers, close the tab, and it takes you back here. Looks to have changed again. It's great. Seems to swap around all the time. So port information gives you details, and they will include, even though they're trying to sell you a trip out, It will include if there's information about how much the water taxi is, or how much the hop-on hop-off bus is in here, and there's quite a lot of information. It does tell you what time you need to get back by, and if you don't get back, you get left. We were here, 19 people got left on a TUI tour. If it's a tour that you've gone out yourself and just gone on a bus, you then have to pay to get yourself back to the next port to get back in. So just be careful, be aware of those times. We were cutting it close in Greece. In Athens, we were touching cloth. Really, anyway, enough about that. So from here you could go to the internet option, and you can pay for various levels of internet access. We didn't. We just found that while we're in port, we had internet all day, and then, do you know what? It's lovely not having the internet and not having people pestering you. You're out at sea, you've got no signal. Well, just the way I like it. You can check in for your flight, but to be fair, I wouldn't do that, because you automatically get an email back to your email address, and you also get a printed boarding pass given to you the day before. So I never even went into flight checking. Tried it, didn't work. It didn't matter. So there is a section just below flight checking, right at the bottom right, sustainability, but I'm just going to close this by having a quick look at the ship map. So again, the ship map, you can download that by clicking click here, and there we are. So deck by deck, it'll tell you where everything is, and you have a bit of information on what's happening. So it's quite good to get one of these, or download one of these. But to be fair, on each deck, when you get to the centre of the ship, on each deck, it tells you where you are, where everything else is, and what floor that's on. Also, when you go to the lifts, just at the side of the lifts, it also tells you what's on each floor anyway. So if you arrange to meet up at the Squid Anchor, where I'm currently sat, at 8 o'clock, you know how to get there. Well, I hope this has been of some use for you. We enjoyed ourselves, and have a great holiday.